Okay, field coach, athletes and coaches. Kind of jumping around a bit because of the questions I'm getting and the feedback and the talk about 5Ks, etc., etc. So I spoke about tempo running, and with a lot of S&C coaches, certainly a well-known method of conditioning. Some people like it, some people love it. Most people do it in some form, okay? But I'm jumping into the tempo first to give people options because people are looking for solutions right now, okay? And we'll jump back to the warm-up. Goes without saying though, with any of these sessions, you don't have to be an S&C coach or a sports scientist to know that a good warm-up is critically important. I will get into them in the next video though. So basically, tempo running, well, we need a speed, we need a time, first of all. So we have to test where we're at, like with anything, to give us a time we want to do a certain distance in, okay? So most tempo running is done between 60 and 70% from a field sport perspective. There is tempo running that distance runners make, which seems to be quite different to what we talk about. And there is a tempo running that 400-meter runners seem to use. Again, they tend to use between 70 and 90% as tempo running. So I think they may do 600-meter to 800-meter runs at, let's say, 85 or 90% pace. That's not where we're at here. Most of this methodology comes originally from Charlie Francis, who was a sprint coach to Ben Johnson, but has been used extensively since then with a lot of success, okay? One of the major benefits of this is arguably it's a little bit easier to build up and there is less injury risk. So we would train, and it comes with a kind of a high-low model built into it. So because you don't go over 70%, you're probably not putting yourself in great danger of injury and of too much internal fatigue, nervous system fatigue, or any type of fatigue. So you could do tempo running the day after training session, okay? You could do it after training sessions, which is where I use it a lot, right? And I use extensive tempos at the end of trainings a lot, but not always. I use intensive as well. But I'll explain them a little bit more to you, right? The basic difference between extensive and intensive for me really is that we are taking longer breaks with extensive. So we're not putting as much pressure on our system. So a very basic one, and where I start a lot of tempo running, is run 100 meters, walk back 100 meters. Okay? It's unbelievably simple. But first of all, just to go back to the test, what we need is your max speed, okay? Or your max 100-meter test. Now, some people would test as short as 60 to 100 meters. But ideally, you do a 100-meter test, okay? So if you do a 100-meter test, we need to get your speed, okay? So if you're a 13-second 100-meter sprinter, that's your 100% that we're going to use, okay? So